Big Sway. I see you got the one shot. Talk about it.
Chuck, this is
It's
it,
been
man.
rolling, but we watching the competition and we watching all the judging and all that.
Yeah.
But talk to people about what prompted this competition.
You know, one shot is everything that King Tag, me, and King Crooked needed when we were kids coming up in the game. It's that one shot. Everything DJ Khaled, T.I., RZA needed was that one shot. A lot of times we got doors slammed in our faces, and we never got that one shot when we wanted it, you know, and we had to beg, borrow, struggle, scrape to get to where we are. Now we're in a position where we could give people that shot. That's what this show is. It's for us giving back to the culture and giving average, everyday people who don't have access or resources to the industry. Maybe they don't have that laptop where they could post up their videos, or, you know, maybe they don't have the time or the energy or the money to do some of those things. Come out and audition for one shot. Automatically, if you audition, you already won, because we're filming the auditions. And even if you don't advance for it, you still got a shot. You got a chance for people to for you to be exposed to other people. You might win $100,000 if you take it all the way to the end. That's life-changing money, Chuck. I mean, I don't know, man. If $100,000, if I had that when I was starting off, I don't know where I would be right now. And you get a record deal. So it's average, everyday people who have the opportunity to live out their dreams. When they see a Drake on stage, or they see a Kendrick on stage, or they see a Future on stage, and they don't know how to get to that stage, one shot is a way you could get to that stage.
And how important is it for you guys to entertain? Because as you know, with other shows like American Idol, you see William Hung, and you remember him years after. I was looking at somebody the other night named Mary Roach, and
Yeah.
she couldn't sing a lick.
Yeah. It's you know, it's not contrived. You know, if a lot of people ask, like we had a girl in a Atlanta episode named Sponjetta who rapped about, I need to eat a taco. I need to eat a taco. You know, and you can't make that up. You know, that's who she is. That's what she presented. And that actually happened. So this other young girl, everything you see actually happens. And it's more that happens than what we're seeing, you know, because you got to edit all that down into 42 minutes into an hour-long show. And I think it shows a variety of people who think they can rap, from those who actually can rap, from those who need to be rapping, from those who should never rap ever again. And I think, to me, it's a microcosm of what we see in the music business today. We got people who think they can rap, some who know they can rap, some who should be rapping, and some who should never rap again. And so all you've seen is a reflection of what the state of the game is right now, and what it's always been. There's always been disparity in dopeness and magic and what isn't. I don't care. People talk about the golden age being the 90s. You and I can testify that in the 90s, there was as many whack rappers as there are in the new millennium and moving forward. So it's always been that.
Okay. That was a little further in my conversation, but since we're on that,
Yeah.
let's talk about that for a second. A lot of discussion going on right now with hip hop and a lot of the younger artists, but I won't even put an age on it. I think it's a mind state as well, and I also think it's the artists who are more popular seem to lack skill, even though they have popularity. As it relates to One Shot, you guys also have people who may be stars but may lack the skills, or at least what we may see as skills. I'm trying to be political here, but you know, because there's different barometers now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that a dilemma for you guys? I mean, you got Crooked Eye on there. Like, Crooked Eye is, like, for real, like one of the dopest MCs ever. You know what I'm saying? King Tech and yourself, and you're trying to give somebody a deal, which is another component to this whole thing. Is there a dilemma with picking this one artist?
Yeah, absolutely. Even going into it, you know, we had to remind ourselves, I don't think it's a problem for King Tech because King Tech has always listened to music with an unbiased ear. He does have his personal favorite style of rapper, perhaps. He like guys who are more lyrical and flipping syllables with the content, but it doesn't prevent him from recognizing the guy who may not be as lyrical but could see the star power in that person and understand that their creative process is their creative process. I deal with that every day on Sway in the Morning,
Right.
and I have for 5 years, and I had to adjust to how styles are changing, how sound is changing, how approach to music is changing, what's acceptable, what's not, and you have to sustain in these times and ages without changing yourself. But I dare say, there were people who were extremely popular who weren't as skilled lyrically as others in the 90s. Hammer was, nobody sold more records than Hammer. Did he present his lyrics the same way as a Kool G Rap, who sold way less records than Hammer? No, he had his own style of doing it, and he got a lot of slack because of it, but he sold over 10 million albums. Yeah. When you look at somebody like Speech from Arrested Development, was Speech a lyrical dude? He had some great lyrics, but he had a singing style that he got a lot of backlash from. But, this dude went on to critical acclaim as an artist, so you have to be able to recognize that magic, unbiased magic, when you find an artist that may not be as skilled as what your personal barometer is, right. But you can understand that this dude got talent, this person or this girl got something to say, or this artist has that passion that creates this magic that makes it special. And so we've been able to, through the times, whether it's, I remember I bring this up a lot, when we put Future on the hottest MCs list and everybody went crazy, went bonkers. Mm-hmm. Well, look at Future now. Yeah. You know what I mean? I remember it was a time people didn't like Common. Thought he was whack and corny and all this other stuff. And I'm like, Common? Really? Yeah. Look at Common now. Right. Look at Drake. Drake evolved into this person. Initially, he even got backlash. I remember talking to him about, things that people would say about him, and now everybody want to be him. Yeah. Kendrick didn't just blow up. He worked to get to, he went from K-Dot to who he is now. Mm-hmm. And you have to have that ability to recognize who these people are. Taylor Bennett was on the show recently, Chance's little brother. He got that magic to him. He sounded a lot like Chance, but still he has that magic to him. King Los came on, did the 5 Fingers of Death. King Los actually put together a great album. Yeah. But, it didn't move the way it should have, didn't sell the way it should have. But you can recognize that this dude is gifted. He got that magic to him. Yeah. So for us, it's having that ability to recognize, hey, he may not be the most lyrically skilled, or she may not be the most lyrically skilled, but she got that magic to her that seemed like it could resonate well. It's a challenge, but I think it's a challenge for anybody who sits in that seat. Yeah. You know what I mean? To try to filter out. People have been able to make names for themselves with no filter, with no advice, with no suggestions. Through the digital platforms, there's no A&R process, there's no incubator, system. People just throwing out anything and they practicing right in front of us. Right. I hate that. Right. Don't get in front of me till you ready. Yeah. Make sure your songs are complete. Right. Make sure you got thought and vision behind your concept. Don't waste my time. Yeah. I gotta hear this, right. Or I gotta buy this. Mm-hmm. Don't do a disservice to me if you're not even fully committed to yourself. This process is that of what Berry Gordy probably took people of Motown from. One Shot is not that extensive, but these artists have to write their own original music. They have to write their own songs to original music. They have to perform it live. They have to create a vision for themselves, as you'll see later on in the series. They have to create an image. They have to create visuals for themselves. And all of it they got to perform in front of experts, whether it's Director X, who will be on later in the season, or Mike Cole from a visual perspective, or whether it's DJ Khaled that we just had in Miami, or Twister or Tech Nine, who we're going to have in Chicago, and special guest judges. These are people who've all done it before too. They didn't get $100,000 at the end like we're gonna give away the one shot winner or a record deal, but they did have to, figure a way to how to make it.
Right.
And so it's a challenge because it is such a disparity. But I dare say that disparity existed in the '90s and in the '80s too.
Definitely.
Not everybody was dope. Who we fooling in the golden era? You just got to hear the dope.
It was a lot of trash.
Yeah, it's a lot of trash. Like any other history, you only gonna hear about the ones who made the mark.
Right.
But the ones who didn't make a mark, folks didn't have to listen. You and I had to listen to that.
Yeah, we had to wade through demos and even 12 inches. And,
Yeah.
Now there's no barriers to entry.
Yeah.
Very little, at least.
Nah, it's not. It's just you just got to be able to know how to load up a video or a song and push a button, and then there it is. And if you could drive enough people to your platform, you'll create a buzz.
Yeah.
And if 100 whack people say you dope, then in your mind you dope.
How hard is it for you to sit in front of somebody who's not? I've seen it on your show. People get up there, they try to freestyle. We've seen it. Pete Rock is putting a lot of people on blast right now. How hard is it for you to be political or not disparage someone when they're right there?
I just don't understand. It happens a lot where somebody is not as great as I would hope they would be. But we in hip hop we have this go-to rule that because you don't like something, that means it's unlikable, or you have to discourage, or clown, or break somebody down, rip them apart because you don't like the way they're freestyling, and they might be garbage, But I feel like I've graduated to a position at this stage in my life and my career where I don't have to say it.
Yeah.
You said it yourself. You watch it on you watch it on YouTube or on Sway's Universe and go, man, I can see it in his face because you might feel that dude is whack.
Right.
I'm providing a platform for anybody who could get up there and shine. This is your one shot to shine.
Right.
Whether it's on Sway in the Morning or whether it's on One Shot every Tuesday at 10 p.m. on BET.